Hello, my viewers. How you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great. Before I jump right back into this video, do you want to say for the last video? Sorry, I had to cut it in half since it was kind of long, so I'm just kind of cutting it in half. So this will be part 2 of episode 1 of What If Naruto's part Saiyan. This is still the history part of the Saiyan race before I actually jump into episode 1 of What If. So let's jump. So the last part. Let me collect myself. So, last part, we were Hagoromo. He left with the other 10 Saiyans, Yumoshi, Shallot, and Giblet, to meet with their chieftain, whose name was Vegeta. And after meeting, first, Hagoromo, he would walk into his camp and he would realize, well, he can automatically tell these guys are, well, not the brightest folk. Before he's even able to really recognize who's the one in charge, the chieftain, he sees about 5 of his Saiyans trying to kill each other. For the most part, that's what he thinks at least. They're punching each other, they're brawling, biting each other, grabbing each other by their tail, and they're just throwing each other around, trying to fight each other. And Hagoromo just walks aside, walks in between everybody in their scuffle, and he walks up to this person that he believes to be a chieftain that's named Vegeta. He's on a throne made of human bones, you can tell, and wearing the hide of the bear and a cape that's from the hide of a tiger. And Vegeta, he stands up. And he waves his hand to the air and he shuts his hand into a fist. And all the Saiyans stop their fighting immediately and they stare at him, waiting to see what's about to unfold. And Hagoromo, he'll be the first one to speak. He'll say, "Hello, Chieftain Vegeta. My name is Hagoromo. I've come on behalf of this village that you've been attacking for the past 2 years. And I've come as a diplomat to quell the differences we have had." And Hagoromo, he'll say, "I just want you, if you would find in your heart, to stop attacking this village. Since your raids have begun, they have not been able to sustain themselves. The children are dying of starvation. They don't have enough food to even feed themselves. They don't have enough money. They don't have any wealth. They can't farm, since any of their harvest goes directly to you. They don't have any money because you've stolen all of it. They don't have any any consumer goods to sell because you've taken it all. So I was wondering if you'd be so kind to find in your heart to what I've been told by this Saiyan behind me. His name's Yumoshi. He told me a gist of your history. And I believe you're nomads. You're a nomadic society, at least for the past 50 years you have been. So, you should find a different land, a fertile land. Move away from this village before any conflict begins. More bloodshed can happen. There's no point in fighting at this point in time. There's no point. So what's the point of you Saiyans dying and humans dying in this fight? You can just go deeper, live deeper in the forest. I will even personally help you find fertile land, help you settle, and build a sustainable small village for your tribe." And that's the end of Hagoromo's little speech. And Vegeta, he was just staring at him, waiting for his old man to be done talking. And he would stand up from his chair after listening to his little of his favor that he was just asked. And he was to say to the old man, "Okay, I'd be willing to take up on your offer." And all the Saiyans, they automatically yell at the tribal leader, even knowing that it may cost them lives. They're saying, "Vegeta, my chieftain, why would you even listen to this old fool's request? There's no point. We need food. We won't have anything. If we try to leave this village, we need everything that they have. How are we supposed to live?" And after hearing the requests of the few Saiyans that have called out to him, Vegeta, after the second they finished the last phrase that came out of these two Saiyans' mouths to try to to ask their lord to not listen to this old man, he automatically shoots out a ninshu, at least what Hagurama believes it is, this wave of a bright light, of a purple light that hits both of these saints and vaporizes them instantaneously. You'll say, that's enough. Don't speak that way, any of you. If any of you fools wish to speak against me, then face the consequence. Face your punishment with its death. Death is your only punishment. So fall in line, or you will die by my hands personally. And all the Saiyans, they realize their place and they be quiet. And Vegeta will go back looking at Hagurama and will tell him, okay, old man, I'll take on your request. Only if you're able to beat me in a fight. If you will beat me in a fight, then I'll listen to you and I'll move my village. I'll move my tribe that you say that we are. Hagurama will say, well, my lord, Vegeta, there's no point having violence. Why would I have to sell your honor? Why would you sell your own honor by fighting a weak, foolish man like I, who's just come to ask you to move your people somewhere else, so that we may live, we both can prosper? Isn't that the better choice? Vegeta's heard enough of it. He gets up off of his throne, he walks down to meet his eyes with Hagurama, and he punches Hagurama in the face, knocking him to the ground. And he says, it's either you fight me, or I will kill you now, old man. And after Hagurama's been hit, he's getting help. He's being helped up by Shao and Giblet. And they both help him up, and they say, and Shao's first one to yell out to Vegeta and tells him, hey, Vegeta, what's the point in that? You know you're just gonna kill him. Don't give him false hope. And Giblet will yell, yeah, Vegeta, if you're gonna fight anyone, fight me. I'll be the one to take you down. I will end your tyranny here. There's no point in this foolishness and this fighting. We will fight like we always have, on a full moon, in our Zaru form. We'll see who will be able to claim the title of chieftain. And after hearing this request, Vegeta knows he can't turn it down. No Saiyan in any circumstance is allowed to turn down a request of battle. And that's what will happen. Giblet is destined. He thinks in his mind he saved the old man. He was kind of happy that the old man was the one to step up. And he's kind of ashamed too. This old man, Hagurama, he had to step up before any of the others, of myself or my brother or anyone, or Moshi or anyone else was able to step up and end this tyranny of Vegeta. And he thanks him, he helps him up. And he tells Yamoshi to, well, heal his wounds, help him, make sure he doesn't get any more injured. And he says, take him deep into the forest and bring him to the elder, the healer, so that she may be able to heal him. And in a week's time, the fight is already settled. They will fight. Vegeta, he hears his request and he accepts, saying, I guess you were the only one that's only here that's able to challenge me. So when you die, there will be no point in any of you resisting anymore. I will be the one that will rule, and we will conquer its land. And all the Saiyans behind him, the 70 Saiyans that's around him, they yell, Vegeta, Vegeta, Vegeta. And a few of them in the crowd are just silent. They don't want to say anything because they know they can't support Shallot and Giblet and Yamoshi and all of it, and everyone else. They can't support him. They'll just be quiet and follow along Vegeta's way. You know, right now the clan is mostly about 60-40. 60 of the Saiyans are in favor of Vegeta and 40 are in favor of Giblet. But only 10 of them, the ones that are following Giblet right now, like Shao and Yamoshi, they're the only ones that are able to really, they're holding their ground. the other 30 are just sadly following Vegeta, not doing anything too rash, so they can just save their lives and the lives of their children. And it's settled. So it's been a day's time, and Yamoshi and everyone there just berating Giblet for trying to fight Vegeta. There's no point. Why would you do that? What's the whole point? And Hagurama, after getting healed up by this elder, after getting punched in the face, he realizes, wow, Hagurama, he's surprised. He didn't realize these Saiyans were this strong. That punch was pretty good. Maybe he was, well, maybe they thought that he's about as strong as maybe I was about 30 years ago. Maybe when I was maybe when I was 20, he could have beaten me in a fight, but now, no. He cannot beat me. Hagurama yells, puts his shoulder on Giblet, and tells him, "You should have let me handle this. There's no point for violence. Violence only begots more violence, and that would just lead to more bloodshed and more vengeance. There's no point in you fighting. I could have handled him. You're a chieftain. He's no match for me. You should have calmed your heart, your spirit, and your mind." Well, I can't do anything else for right now. So I guess this is gonna have to be your fight. I can't do anything. I can't interrupt your culture. This, I guess, is the only way for you to, well, beat Vegeta. So I guess the only thing I can do right now is train you for the next 6 days you have until the battle. And that's what Hagurama will do. He will train the 10 Saiyans in the ways of ninja. In training, he will teach them each their own respective nature. Giblet and Shallot, naturally, they're pretty gifted in fighting. Well, Giblet still is naturally more gifted than Shallot, but he's still pretty decent. They both are able to use fire release naturally. And Yamoshi, he's a strange one in the group. He's able to use wind release and fire release. And he's realized that, well, even though Shallot and Giblet are the strongest, Yamoshi has the most variety, because he's able to use 2 chakra natures out of all the other Saiyans. He trains all the Saiyans, specifically Shallot, Giblet, and Yamoshi, to make sure that they're all 3 of them will be strong enough. And he specifically sets up Shallot and Giblet to fight each other every day. And Yamoshi, he's interested in fighting, but there's no point in him fighting right now. He just believes that, well, when the time comes, he will fight. He will have to fight Vegeta if Giblet doesn't win, and Shallot will have to do the same. So Hagurama's focusing on these 3 Saiyans. And, well, Hagurama, he's been training the Saiyans. He's been talking to this elder who's, well, very old. He's in his 90s, very decrepit, very withered. He realizes that this man doesn't have much time, and the elder passes on his wisdom. He talks to Hagurama, tells him the history of his Saiyan people. He tells him how, well, they were once, for the past 50 years, we've been nomads, because before that, no, I'm really the only survivor left from the times before our nomadic travels. But over 200 years ago from this day, the Saiyans originally settled on a fertile land in a barren wasteland with no vegetation, but we called it our own. We've always been able to survive off a little food and water, so it didn't bother us. And we call that land Sadala. But we lived on that land for over 150 years. And recently, in the last 50 years ago, our land was besieged by an overlord and his massive army of strange humanoids, of humans, a shogun, that's what he was called anyways, a man with 2 horns, a horned helmet, a horn on each side, and purple and red armor. His name was Frieza. He had hundreds upon hundreds of other humans, skilled humans that are able to fight with great skill in both archery, swordsmanship, horsemanship, all forms of combat they're all masters in. And even with their small numbers, even back then, there was only about 200 of us. Back then, even though there's only 100 of us now, we still never had large numbers, since we couldn't really find any fertile land to live on and grow a population, even though we're so strong. And sadly, we were forced off our land, and we've been on the run. We've been thrown out of our land, and well, this is why we're here now. And well, we didn't even fight in this Ozaru form. We're on the part of the earth that we were. For some reason, we never really had a moon. The moon rarely came. For some strange reason, the moon never became a full moon. It was always, well, a partial moon, only about 90% full. But ever since we left that land, we discovered this Ozaru transformation that will amplify our power by tenfold. But we never need this, so we actually became weaker as a species, since we were naturally stronger. In our forms, we used to harness our anger, our power. We used to harness our power, so we are roughly the same strength in our Ozaru form as we were long ago, before we were forced out of our land. We were strong as this Ozaru, but with this Ozaru transformation, we were able to still survive, but we're far weaker now. And Hagurama thinks, wow, these Saiyans were really strong. If they were, well, back 100 years ago, they may be almost as strong as Kaguya. They could have really helped out. They're almost as strong as him, I think. Maybe if 20 or 30 of them would fight Kaguya at the same time, they may actually beat her. He's, well, kind of shocked. And kind of proud of that. Wow. These people, they're able to defend themselves. And he keeps them in the back of his mind, saying they may be good allies in the future to protect the peace and to defeat Kaguya if she ever comes back again. And with that knowledge, and the Elder also passes on a ritual to the Saiyans, to the 10, and tells them of a way to become far stronger. And he tells a ritual of 5 Saiyans joining hands and passing on their energy, their life force, of what the Saiyans call ki. They're able to shoot out their mouths in their Ozaru form. They're masters of this form of releasing of energy back in the day. They're in the reign of, well, when we were still in Sadala. And Kagurama says, oh, so it's like a ninja weapon teaching shout and giblet, using the elements to create some form of release, like lightning, or using lightning release, or using fire or air release, or water release. And elders say it's somewhat similar, but not really. It seems just to our race, we're able to harness a life essence called ki. Ki's everywhere. It's in you. It's in every living being. Some have more than others. Every species, every life form is able to harness it if they train hard enough. But we're just naturally gifted to it. And we're able to fire it out of our hands like you saw Chieftain Vegeta do. But a far weaker measure than what we were able to do 100 years ago. How Kagurama takes that into account. He's, well, interested. He would like to learn more about this ki that the elder calls. They would pass on their knowledge. Hagurama will pass on all his knowledge, to pass on a lot of his knowledge of ninja, the different releases, different abilities he has because of it. And this elder, whose name is Yaki, will pass on the information of ki release to Hagurama, and Hagurama will practice in a few days that he has. While training the other Saiyans, he will practice basic ki release, and he's naturally gifted at it. He's able to create a small orb in his hand on the first day. Then second day, he's able to fire it out. Then third day, at higher volumes. Then by the 5th day, he's able to create a ki blast that's about as strong as Vegeta's that he used. Vegeta displayed. And well, About this time, on the final day, the leader, he would tell them about the ritual. The five saints join hands, and they would pass on their key into another, and he will gain immense power and a transformation. They back in my time, only a legendary hero. It was said a legendary hero would gain this form during the true times of struggle for the same race. One of them occurred to fight Frieza, but sadly, still wasn't enough. And well, you know the rest. That's why all this happened now. And they would do ritual on Giblet, Shallot. Actually, no. They'll only do Yomoshi. He'll be the one that'll try it out, and he becomes the first Super Saiyan God in the last 100 years. His power, he realizes, well, with this amount of strength, he can defeat Vegeta easily. And Vegeta, well, Yomoshi, after becoming the first Super Saiyan God since Shallot, he didn't want to do it because he realized, well, I want to get my own power by myself. And same for Giblet. They're both in the same mindset. They only want to become strong by themselves. But Yomoshi, he's the smartest one in the group. He realizes he has to gain power by these boss, by their help. That's the only way they can really win this battle. And well, Yomoshi, he throws aside everything, and he tells all the other Saiyans, now we have the ability to use Ninshu, use all these releases. Let's go and fight Vegeta. Forget about this honor bullcrap. There's no point. We have to demolish our society to bring up something better. And Shallot and Giblet, they tested this. They're saying we can't forsake our traditions. But the elder would chime in and say, well, if you truly don't want to forget about traditions, you can't forget about me and my generation before. You all made a new society based on only strength, since we were weakened and defeated by Frieza. That's why this whole society came up about strength. We were a peaceful people for the most part. We had our bickerings and fought amongst each other still, but we never were savages like now. So I say, if you truly care about tradition, then you must bring back our traditions of protecting the weak among us, and care about protecting each other and gathering of knowledge, and helping people, not being savages and cutthroats. And everyone agrees after hearing the elders, hearing Yaki's little words come out of his mouth, and they realize, okay, we gotta destroy our society to create something new. And Hagoromo will rally them up with Yomoshi at his side, and they would go to Vegeta, while this Super Saiyan God form is almost halfway run out of time, since, well, they've been talking, they're walking, and Yomoshi would walk up to Vegeta and say, hey Vegeta, I challenge you to fight right now. Forget about this blasted moon or this Ozaru form. Fight me now. If you don't, I'll cast you aside and make myself a chieftain. So, are you too much of a damn fool to fight me without your Ozaru transformation? Bet you're the best one in the tribe that has the most control over it. Will you fight me like a true Saiyan warrior, with your pride intact? Will you cower behind all these other bodyguards and warriors? And all the Saiyans are looking at Yomoshi, shocked that he's even up testing, trying to battle Vegeta, and looking at Vegeta, awaiting his answer, because they're all in the same thought right now. There's no way Vegeta can turn this fight down. He's been dishonored. He's gonna be a fool if he turns down. Must mean he's weak. That's going through everyone's mind. There's no way he's gonna win. Well, what if? Maybe? And Vegeta, in his mind, he's realized he's angry, mad by this. And he tests. He still says, in his mind he's thinking, I guess I have to accept. There's no way I'm gonna lose anyway. He may look strange, he may look a bit more determined, but I'm still gonna win. Can't look like a fool, a weakling, and all I worked for be damned. And Yamoshi and Vegeta would fight. And well, after fighting, we skip forward about 4 minutes in the future, and well, Yamoshi has his foot up over Vegeta's head. It took basically a short amount of time. There's no point in going over the fight. It wasn't even a fight, it was a massacre. Yamoshi was able to dominate Vegeta at every way: speed, power, technique, with his abilities to use ninju. He was just barraging him with his wind release, shooting wind bullets at him, and using fire release to amplify, and using his wind release and fire release at the same time to amplify the magnitude of fire to scorch Vegeta. Then he would just run up to Vegeta and punch him in the face and stomp him, throw him in the air, slam him to the ground. Just a massacre. And Yamoshi, his transformation would end. Saiyan God form would end, but he feels, after the fight, he feels, well, strange. The power still hasn't left him. He feels somewhat at peace, knowing that he defeated Vegeta, and his strength still remains. And he walks up to the throne, and he sits on it, and he says, "All my Saiyans, my brothers, my sisters, we're all children of Saiyan race. We're all warriors, damn it. We used to be protectors of the innocent, protectors of the weak. Now look at us, we're savages. We fight amongst each other, killing each other in the night. Killing each other over what? A damn throne? A title? To be strongest? Why the hell should that matter? We should look after each other, protect each other, grow, and prosper. Aren't you tired of living in this bloody forest? Not doing a damn, just attacking this village for what? Their food? Well, that's about to run out in 2 months? What's the point in all this, wasting our lives coming here?" After the speech, all the Saiyans, they walk up. All of them walk up, and they bend the knee to Yamoshi, and they say, "All hail Yamoshi. All hail new chieftain." But Yamoshi still is angered by this. He stomps his feet, and he stands up, and he walks down to the floor, and he blasts at the throne strong, and he says, "No, I am not your king, I am not your chieftain, I'm not your lord, I'm not anything. I'm just a Saiyan who wants to protect his people, and we're gonna create a new society with the help of our teacher and our new master, Hagoromo, the creator of Ninshu, and our new leader." Okay, guys, that's what I'm gonna be ending with Naruto. With episode 0, part 2. You guys gotta wait a little bit more for part 3, and we're gonna jump into the actual story, the beginning of Naruto. Okay, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. See you guys later.